Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review Lunar Vacation's brand newly released album, Everything Matters, Everything's Fire. It is quite good. This is the track listing, and these are the tracks added to my playlist, 7 out of 9, all of them but 2. This album is pretty good. It's concise and sticks to his style without getting too boring. The songs are all pretty similar, I will admit, but most of them still manage to stick out from the crowd and remain memorable as individual tracks. Most of the tracks here are definitely still sound pretty good on their own, and together they work pretty well as an album. The flow is pretty good, the speed is consistently slow throughout the album, but it still works well since the tracks remain memorable. It doesn't get boring even though it's slow. Sick is a pretty good opener, although I think I would have gone with Set the Stage for lyrical reasons. That one's relatively medium speed, while Set the Stage, Tom, and Erase All the B's are slower. Bitter is a great halfway track, still pretty slow, but a little bit more upbeat to push into the slower tracks on the back half, like Fantasy and Better Luck. The final track, You Shouldn't Be, is a great closer, slow, but it still feels optimistic, a very smart way to end the album in my opinion. Overall, a pretty good album, although if you didn't like one track here, you probably won't like the rest, as the variety is a little bit lacking. There were 4 singles released before the album, which at 9 tracks makes up almost half the album here. Most of the tracks are clustered at the front though, so you still get kind of an overall feel for the whole album even if you've already heard them. They were, in order of release, Set the Stage, Sick, Tom, and Fantasy. That's the only one that's not at the top. My favorite track here is probably that last one, You Shouldn't Be. I really did like it a lot, although Sick and Tom are also really good and definitely deserved to be singles, but I did really like that last one. It has the title lyric in the track, and that's pretty good. I like how it goes. I rank this album better than their first album, Inside Every Fig is a Dead Wasp, from 2021. I think they've improved their quality slightly here and gotten more consistent with their sound. They've also improved the album construction, in my opinion. Everything Matters, Everything's Fire flows better than Inside Every Fig is a Dead Wasp, in my book. Although I do think their debut has a tad bit more variety, the improved quality on this one makes up for it in general. However, this album doesn't take my top spot from 2024. That stays with Imagine Dragons' Loom, which I mostly just kind of prefer better stylistically. Really, listening to this album, I think that Lunar Vacation as a band is good, but I don't think they'll really ever be one of my top bands. I can appreciate the style, but it's never going to be my favorite. It's good, but always going to be sort of in that good range. I don't know if they'll ever really be great for me. I just don't like the style enough to say that. So Loom keeps it here. Thank you for watching. Next up is Billy Joel's 1989 album Stormfront. This one had We Didn't Start the Fire on it, but other than that, it wasn't that incredible. So should be an interesting review. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay minty.